Aloha from beautiful Hawaii. We've got the Toyota Grand Highlander HybridMax and the regular hybrid.
Don't worry, we're doing a totally separate video on the base gasoline model. We'll put a link in the description. But right now, we're going for a ride on these beautiful roads. Do you want it in sport, Andrea?
Of course I want it in sport.
Ooh.
Wow, it's got some great power. It's that torque number. Wow.
I'm gonna put it back to normal. We're gonna put it in subscribe in a moment. This is the Grand Highlander with the most power. What's under the hood of this thing?
A 2.4 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder with a 6-speed automatic transmission, a combined 362 horsepower and 400 pound-feet of torque. Standard full-time electronic all-wheel drive. You can put regular fuel in this Grand Highlander.
In the second half of the video, we will be driving the base 2.5 liter 4-cylinder hybrid with an ECVT. It has 243 horsepower, standard electronic on-demand all-wheel drive in Canada, front-wheel and all-wheel drive options available in the US. So that base 2.5 liter later is similar to what you would get, say, in the regular Highlander, but this one is different. This is closer to what you get in the Lexus RX.
That's right.
It's got an electric motor in the drivetrain in the front, electric motor at the back, no torque converter. It's got a clutch pack, and that's where you get the instant power from all of those electrons.
And no ECVT, a 6-speed automatic transmission that shifts quickly.
We had a chat with the chief engineer this morning, asked them why not an 8-speed automatic, and he said due to packaging constraints in the front of the vehicle, they could only go with 6. Right now we're going to do the key standard features of the base model hybrid.
The base trim comes with a 12.3-inch touchscreen, wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, a 7-inch multi-information display, a wireless charger, 10-way power driver seat, 8-way power passenger seat, 8-passenger bench seat, soft text upholstery, heated front seats, a heated steering wheel, a power liftgate, and Toyota Safety Sense 3.0. In the US, both captain's chairs and a bench seat are available on the base trim. A heated steering wheel is available one up from the base model.
Well, Andrew's already put it in sport. What else can we put it in?
Gotta put it in S for subscribing. If you can hit that notification bell, you'll be notified when all of our reviews drop, and then you can watch them.
And we do this, the Cup of Car Review, twice a week. The first one drops on Wednesday.
We put another one out on Saturday.
Make sure you like and subscribe. Also follow on Instagram. It's Motormouth_Andrea to see what's going on behind the scenes. For me, it's Motormouth_Auto, and the links are below the like button.
Okay, here we go in normal mode. Okay, this does not feel like a hybrid to me. I feel like I'm driving a gas model. It is fantastic.
That's the 6-speed automatic. That makes all the difference. And we're going to drive the CVT or the ECVT one later. I think that's the real differentiator. But it's a lot more money. We're going to get into what it costs a little bit later in the video. I think they pipe in maybe a little bit of sound, Andrea.
For sure. They've got it. Well, this has got dual exhaust pipes in the back. It's the only one of the Grand Highlander that gets them. I think it's pretty cool for a hybrid.
By the way, we did a totally separate video on just the gas model, which is shocked us, by the way, how good it is. Now, this one's coming out first, but as soon as that is done, there will be a card here, and you can click on that, watch that as well. It's really good. So we have driven all of them now, and I got to tell you that I'm very impressed with this new platform. I think that it does a great job. It's big, it's long, but it doesn't feel like that when you're driving it.
Not at all. But this has got to be my favorite, the HybridMax. I know it is a lot more money. It's not, you know, a budget-friendly option. But if you can afford it and you want that extra power and the 6-speed automatic transmission, it really is terrific. I don't know what kind of fuel economy I would get in this, because you know me, I like it in sport mode, but you're not going to feel a lack of power here in the city or passing on the highway.
See, I'm more in I like the base 2.4 liter turbo with the 8-speed, so I still get that same driving experience. It's still got good power. It's a lot less expensive. Sure, it uses more gas, but did I mention it's a lot less expensive? It has, you know what, to be honest with you, now we've driven them all, they're all kind of similar on the inside.
But I gotta say, this is more fun and engaging, more dynamic to drive. I mean, this is a Grand Highlander. This is a 3-row family hauler, and I am feeling so planted in here, and there is just so much power.
Now, what do you think about the way this looks? I think that they did a good job. We talked about it when we did the gas video. Watch that, it's excellent. My takeaway is it looks like a RAV4 went to the gym. It looks very RAV4-ish.
Yeah, it looks like a big RAV4. You know, the RAV4 has grown. But I also see a bit of a Lexus vibe with the front grille. And this HybridMax model gets unique bumpers, it gets premium LED headlights, the dual exhaust pipes that I mentioned earlier, and it gets 20-inch wheels.
We have driven the base model again. I'm really liking that one. With the 18-inch wheels.
Yeah.
And we've had some rough roads here. It's really mixed on the Big Island of Hawaii, where you get uneven pavement and very smooth right now. And I really like the 18-inch wheels.
Yeah, I think that I can hear the 20-inch wheels a little bit more than the 18-inch, a little bit smoother with the 18-inch. This also has an acoustic windshield, acoustic glass, and I can tell that Toyota made an effort to keep the cabin noise down in the Grand Highlander and just have it be a little bit more refined and create a more upscale experience.
Now that we've driven all of them, I'm really impressed with what they've done with this Grand Highlander. I think they've done a great job. Overall, driving dynamics are really good.
And guess what? Every Grand Highlander model comes with a temporary spare tire.
And then when you focus on the inside, we're going to talk about it a little bit more in Questions, Coffee, and Cars, what makes this one unique with the sort of bronze accents. But we've driven all of them, and they're all really good.
I really like that this comes standard with a 12.3-inch touchscreen, and it gets a standard 7-inch digital driver display, available 12.3-inch. I like the quirky shifter at the center console. Well, I remember when I drove it for the first time in the NX, I was like, I don't know if I like this, but now I do. I think it's actually intuitive to use once you figure it out.
But you know what? So logically well laid out. It's not freaky deaky. It's not weird. They have big controls for the HVAC system, buttons for the HVAC system. They've got, you know, all kinds of buttons for the terrain settings. There's a tray here in the dashboard that you get from the regular Highlander for your cell phone with a plug next to it. Lots of USB outlets. It's really logically well thought out.
And when you sit in this Grand Highlander, you're going to find that the seats are comfortable and that there's plenty of thigh support. I like the visibility in this cabin. It's really open. The doors are large, making it easy to load kids, dogs, items in and out of the vehicle.
Because it's grande, Andrea. It's gone grande.
Yeah.
All right, what are the trims on the hybrid models?
Move up one from the base model to the limited trim, and that adds a 12.3-inch digital driver display, panoramic view monitor, the 11-speaker JBL sound system, panoramic sunroof, leather trim seating, driver seat memory, ventilated front seats, 7-passenger seating with captain's chairs, heated second row seats, ambient lighting, and then the hands-free power tailgate. In the US, heated rear seats are standard on limited trims, but the panoramic sunroof and the panoramic view monitor are only available on platinum models.
So the one we're rolling in right now is the HybridMax, and exclusive to this trim is the ultra suede and leather trimmed upholstery with the bronze colored accents throughout the cabin. This trim also adds heated and ventilated second row seats, paddle shifters, a dial multi-terrain selector, a head-up display, puddle lamps, and a digital rear view mirror.
Wondering about color options in the interior. I know that people are looking for some unique options.
Andrea, I'm looking for some unique options. What are my options?
Well, in Canada, unfortunately, it is a black interior, whether you get Softex or leather trim. And then this top trim, the HybridMax in Canada, you can get a portobello or a black interior with the ultra suede and leather trimmed upholstery. But
I just want to translate. Portobello is brown.
Brown.
Okay,
it looks really good.
And what do you get in the US that you don't get in Canada?
Okay, in the US you get the black, but you also get light gray, which I think has become one of my favorites next to the portobello.
Stick around, because when we get the regular gas hybrid version coming up, that has the gray seats.
And then of course you still get the light gray as well as portobello and black on the higher trim.
So how much bigger is this compared to the regular Highlander? Well, the wheelbase is 4 inches longer. That's going to make more room. We'll show you that in a second. Overall, it's 6 inches bumper to bumper longer, and it's 2 inches higher compared to the regular Highlander. That's why it's called Grande.
Grande.
And when you open the back doors, there's a nice little ledge there to step in. And of course, you share the space with the second and third row. The seats slide fore and aft, they recline. Second row space is excellent.
Comparing the Grand Highlander to other large 3-row SUVs like the Volkswagen Atlas and the Kia Telluride, the Grand Highlander offers 41.7 inches of front row legroom, which is the same as the Atlas, but about 2 inches smaller than the Telluride. Second row legroom at 39.5 inches is bigger than the Atlas, but a little smaller than the Kia.
You slide the second row forward, and when you get inside the third row, it's shocking how good the room is. Even for adults, there's plenty of legroom and headroom. People are going to be happy in the back row.
Oh yes, that is where the Grand Highlander shines. 33.5 inches of third row legroom, which is the same as the Atlas and 2 inches more than the Telluride.
And then when you pop the liftgate, the nice thing is the cargo space, even with all 3 rows up, is fantastic. You can actually put 7 overnight bags with the third row up.
Overall cargo space at 97.5 cubic feet is great, and space behind the second row is 57.9 cubic feet, which is more than both of these competitors. Space behind the third row comes in at 20.6 cubic feet. It's the same as both the Atlas and the Telluride.
So coming up, we're going to drive the regular base model hybrid after this fabulous segment.
Time now for questions, coffee, and cars.
Your questions from Instagram.
Is there any fuel economy benefits from regular hybrid and HybridMax, or just is it power focused? Yep, power focused. You get better fuel economy with the 2.5 liter hybrid powertrain for sure.
Yeah, but the thing you got to remember with the Max, you're getting 400 pound-feet of torque, which makes it more performance oriented. So it's not going to be more efficient, but it's more efficient than it would be if it wasn't a hybrid.
We're going to run through all those fuel economy numbers between the 2.5 liter hybrid and this HybridMax in our vital stats coming up soon. I rent cars often, and I always avoid Toyotas because their interiors are always the same and are boring and weird.
Well, you don't always get the best trim with a rental car.
No.
They always give you the cheap and cheerful one.
Yes.
But I would agree that, Toyota puts a priority on usefulness and the durability of the materials, not so much on design. This one, we've driven the base model, now the most expensive one. They're all really good.
They're all quite good. I mean, I think Zach and I were pretty surprised by the base model and how it looked. I think what I'm disappointed with in Canada is that this HybridMax is only available on the Platinum model, where if you wanted to spend a little bit less but still get the HybridMax because you like that extra torque, in the US it's available on the Limited and Platinum.
It's something they could add.
I can't help but ask, better than Telluride and Palisade and new CX-90? Obviously, the elephants in the room have to be addressed.
Well, totally different, right? So you've got to remember that they have fine products and they're large as well, especially the Telluride and the Palisade, but they don't have a hybrid. They've got one powertrain. Toyota comes to market, they've got a Highlander. They say we're going to make it Grande size.
Yeah.
And then we're going to throw 3 powertrains at you. Those other guys, they can't even touch that.
And this comes standard with a 12.3-inch touchscreen. It has wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. The thing about the Korean cousins is that wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto is not available on the bigger screens, and also the CX-90 doesn't come standard with wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto either.
Well,
so there are some benefits to each, and remember the Telluride seats, they're pretty firm.
Well, what's interesting about the CX-90, so all of the reviews for the most part were done on the top trim with the fanciest cloth and wood and aluminum interior. We never got a chance to drive the base model. We have with this Grande Highlander, and I have to tell you that I'm impressed with the base model. Is really quite good. And now it's time for our hot topic. What's this one, Andrea?
Has Toyota said anything about its strategy for mid-size SUVs? I feel like they and Lexus now have a ridiculous amount of them with the Highlander, Grand Highlander, 4Runner, and then the Lexus RX, TX, and GX.
Now, We are going to get to that hot topic in just a second, but we've changed into the base model hybrid with the 2.5 liter hybrid system you get in the RAV4, the Venza, and the regular Highlander. They have it in this big boy, and it's surprisingly good.
Yeah, it's quieter than the RAV4 hybrid, the Venza, and even the Highlander hybrid. This feels more refined. They have really made an effort, I can tell, to keep the cabin noise down in this. Feels more planted to me. Well, and we're getting the official combined fuel economy numbers.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think this vehicle is perfect. It's not going to win a drag race.
No.
It's not going to be the best for passing a logging truck on the highway.
No.
But if you're taking kids to school, to soccer practice, picking up grandma for dinner on Sunday, driving in the city, this is the one you want. The Max is the one for a long highway bomber.
Sufficient enough power, but you are going to have to make a slight plan, I think, when you're passing on the highway.
All right, back to the hot topic, and a good question. I don't think Toyota, Lexus really think they have too many three-row SUVs.
Yeah.
I think they have total world domination. It is the biggest car company in the world. They sell more cars than anybody else. They have more categories than anybody else.
Yep.
No other mainline car brand has sporty cars like the GR Corolla, sedans like the Corolla Camry, minivans, trucks, SUVs, and three-row SUVs. They got more categories covered than anybody.
And in North America, people like large vehicles. So why not capitalize on the three-row SUV segment? This Grand Highlander is really well thought out. Not only is it comfortable, but well designed with the interior.
I'm now in the get the Grand Highlander and skip past the Highlander phase.
Yeah.
I have decided that's my new go-to is this one.
This
All right,
is it.
We talked, Andrea mentioned that we are actually getting the official fuel economy numbers for this Highlander, but what are they? And more in our vital stats.
Let's start with pricing. We'll do Canada first and then move on to the US. The Canadian pricing includes all fees and freight excluding taxes. The base hybrid model starts at just over $57,000 and the Platinum HybridMax is just over $68,500. In the US, the base hybrid all-wheel drive model is just over $46,000 and the Platinum HybridMax is just over $58,000.
Here's the fuel economy for the base hybrid. 6.5 liters per 100 kilometers in the city, 7.3 on the highway. That's 36 miles per gallon city, 32 miles per gallon highway. The Hybrid Max is rated at 9 liters per 100 kilometers city, 8.7 on the highway. That's 26 miles per gallon city, 27 miles per gallon highway. The Hybrid Max can tow 5,000 pounds, the base hybrid 3,500 pounds. Toyota offers a warranty of 3 years, 60,000 kilometers, or 36,000 miles. In the United States, complimentary scheduled maintenance is offered for 2 years or 25,000 miles. Lightning round, two things we like to see improved.
I love that Toyota is pushing through with more hybrid options that are family friendly.
And the interior of this is so logical.
What I'd love to see is this color combo in Canada. This is only available in the US, this light gray.
And the other thing I'm grooving on this one is it has the bench seat in the second row. That should be offered on more trims.
I'm such a huge fan of this HybridMax model. It just gets up there in price. It's not going to be an affordable option for all.
You know what? After driving all of these Grand Highlanders, I'm really impressed.